From a small principality in Anatolia to a vast empire spanning 3 continents, the story of the Ottoman Empire is one of ambition, conquest, and extraordinary transformation. How did a group of nomadic warriors build one of the most powerful and enduring empires in world history?
This is the story of the rise of a global power. Our journey begins in the late 13th century. The Byzantine Empire, a shadow of its former glory, was crumbling. The Seljuk Sultanate of Rum, which once dominated Anatolia, had been shattered by Mongol invasions. Into this power vacuum stepped a charismatic leader named Osman Gazi. From his small beylik, or principality around the town of Sazman, laid the foundations for an empire that would bear his name for over 6 centuries. The early Ottomans were not just conquerors. They were pragmatists. They embraced a code of Gaza, holy war, but also attracted scholars, administrators, and merchants, building a state that was both militarily formidable and administratively sophisticated. Osman's son, Orhan, continued his father's legacy, capturing the strategic city of Bursa and making it the first major Ottoman capital. It was under Orhan that the Ottomans first crossed into Europe, establishing a foothold in the Balkans. This was a pivotal moment. The Ottomans were no longer just an Anatolian power. They had become a European one. A key innovation during this period was the creation of the Janissaries. These elite infantry units, recruited from Christian boys through the Devshirme system, were fiercely loyal to the Sultan alone. They were a standing army, disciplined and equipped with the latest military technology, giving the Ottomans a decisive edge on the battlefield. The 14th and 15th centuries saw relentless Ottoman expansion into the Balkans. Sultan Murad I secured victories at Adrianople, which became the new capital Edirne, and the legendary Battle of Kosovo in 1389. His successor, Bayezid I, known as the Thunderbolt for the speed of his campaigns, consolidated Ottoman rule over the region. However, this rapid expansion was nearly cut short. In 1402, the mighty Central Asian conqueror Timur, or Tamerlan, crushed the Ottoman army at the Battle of Ankara and captured Sultan Bayezid. The empire plunged into a decade of civil war, a period known as the Ottoman Interregnum. It seemed as if the young empire would collapse before it truly began. But the Ottoman state proved remarkably resilient. From the ashes of civil war, Sultan Mehmed I emerged as the sole ruler, earning the title, the second founder of the empire. He and his successor, Murad II, painstakingly rebuilt the state, reconsolidating power in Anatolia and the Balkans. They set the stage for the empire's most iconic achievement. For centuries, the magnificent city of Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, had stood defiant, protected by its legendary walls. It was a prize that had eluded Muslim conquerors for generations. But in 1453, a young, ambitious sultan, only 21 years old, would achieve the impossible. Sultan Mehmed II, forever known as Mehmed the Conqueror, was a brilliant strategist and a patron of the arts and sciences. He assembled a massive army and navy and commissioned the construction of enormous cannons, powerful enough to breach Constantinople's formidable defenses. After a grueling 53-day siege, on May 29, 1453, the city fell. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves across the Christian world and marked the symbolic end of the Middle Ages. Mehmed the Conqueror made Constantinople, renamed Istanbul, the new capital of his empire. He transformed it into a vibrant cosmopolitan center of culture, commerce, and power, a true imperial city. This conquest cemented the Ottoman Empire as the dominant force in the Eastern Mediterranean. The century following the conquest of Istanbul is often considered the Ottoman Golden Age. Mehmed's grandson, Selim I, known as the Grim, dramatically expanded the empire's borders to the east and south. In a swift and decisive campaign, he conquered the Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt and Syria between 1516 and 1517. This victory was monumental. It brought the holy cities of Mecca and Medina under Ottoman protection, making the Sultan the Caliph, the leader of the Sunni Muslim world. The Ottomans now controlled the lucrative trade routes of the Middle East, and the empire's wealth and prestige grew exponentially. The peak of Ottoman power came under the reign of Selim's son, Suleiman I, known in the West as the Magnificent and in the East as the Lawgiver. His 46-year reign, from 1520 to 1566, was an era of unparalleled military success, architectural splendor, and legal reform. On the battlefield, Suleiman's armies pushed deep into Central Europe, conquering Belgrade and Hungary after the Battle of Mohacs. His siege of Vienna in 1529, though unsuccessful, struck fear into the heart of Europe. His navy, under the command of the brilliant Admiral Barbarossa Hayreddin Pasha, dominated the Mediterranean Sea. But Suleiman was more than just a conqueror. As the lawgiver, he oversaw a comprehensive reform of the empire's legal system. His Kanun, or legal code, harmonized traditional Islamic law with the practical needs of a vast, multi-ethnic, multi-religious empire. This legal framework would endure for centuries. Under his patronage, the imperial architect Mimar Sinan adorned Istanbul and other cities with magnificent mosques, bridges, and public buildings that still stand today as a testament to the glory of his age. The Süleymaniye Mosque in Istanbul is considered Sinan's masterpiece and a symbol of the empire's cultural and artistic zenith. By the end of Suleiman's reign, the Ottoman Empire was a true global power. It stretched from the gates of Vienna to the Persian Gulf, from North Africa to the Arabian Peninsula. It was a sophisticated, bureaucratic state that governed tens of millions of people of diverse faiths and ethnicities. Its armies were feared, its navy controlled the seas, and its capital, Istanbul, was the largest and wealthiest city in Europe. The rise from a small Anatolian beylik to a world-spanning empire was complete. The story of the Ottomans is a powerful reminder of how vision, military innovation, and administrative genius can forge an empire that changes the course of history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the rise of the Ottoman Empire. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories from history. We'll see you in the next one.